The Wausau Fire Department will receive $1.4 million a year to help them keep 12 firefighters and paramedics. Now this after voters in the city approved a referendum and a close vote last night, with the measure passing 51 to 49%. Fire Chief Jeremy Kopp is expressing his gratitude and sharing with us today that his department will also look to assist SAFER after voters in Weston rejected their own fire referendum last night.
Sure that we uphold our end of the bargain when it comes to response times and when it comes to giving the best care that we can to each and every one of our community members. So we appreciate it and we thank Wausau for that. There's no doubt that SAFER is going to figure out a way to move forward, just like all of us will in the fire service, no matter what the hurdles are. We're going to continue to help each other because that's what neighbors do and that's what we've always done.
The Village of Weston has partnered with SAFER since 2014, which is the consolidated Weston and Rim Mountain Fire Department. Weston officials say that relationship will continue despite the referendum's failure.
Regardless of the outcome, the Village and SAFER remain committed to providing the best possible service and putting forward whatever the best option is for our shared priorities in the future.
Gebert says the Village Board and the SAFER Board will be meeting in the next few months to discuss the next steps going forward. Crandon was one of many Wisconsin schools to pass operational referendums last night, that after their effort last year failed. The district asked voters for approving $1.25 million for the next 3 years. It passed with 51% of the vote. Their district administrator tells our news partners at WXPR that these types of referendums have become commonplace across the state as districts struggle with rising costs and often less state funding.
We understand that this referendums in general are not a long-term solution. That's why we continue to advocate for sustainable funding with our state and federal leaders, as well as our tribal partners.
Now, meanwhile, following another school referendum, the Butternut School District, they passed theirs just by one vote last night. This was the third time the district worked to pass this specific referendum.
But it was exciting. It was nerve-wracking, and we are hoping that we have earned the trust in our community to believe that we are going to move forward in the strongest way possible.
The funding secured will help run day-to-day operations like keeping the lights on, making sure the heater works, as well as supplying students with supplies and more. And in the city of Tomahawk, their referendum to increase the tax levy by 20% failed to pass last night. City officials telling us that the outcome places the city in a very difficult position.
Last year with budget cuts, we were barely able to keep services to what the citizens expect. And we had to cut several key areas. And without this referendum, we're going to be in the same position with revenue, but unfortunately, expenses will continue to grow.
Now, they also say that more support at the state level is needed, citing a continuous decrease in funding over the past several years. And although he says that it is too early to implement further cuts, as expenses come in, they may be making additional budget cuts on top of those made last year.